Ahlan wa sahlan, welcome to another Mark Hachem video, guys. We're gonna talk about Iraq today. There are so many awesome things about the country, and we're gonna jump right in. Yallah. Alright, Iraq, Jumhuriyatul Iraqiyya in Arabic, or Qomar Iraq in Kurdish, is a country located in the Persian Gulf with a population of around 38 million people. The official languages are Arabic and Kurdish or Kurdi. The Kurdish language has its roots in the Iranian languages all the way back to Indo-European, as opposed to the Afro-Asiatic roots of Arabic. Slautsuni, that's hi, how are you in Kurdish if I said it right. A few other languages are recognized as well, including Persian, Shabaki, which is another Indo-European language, as well as Classic Mandaic, which is a Semitic language close to Aramaic, surviving today through the Mandaean religion, which shares elements with Judeo-Christian traditions, but has its own as well. Other small minority religious groups include Christians, Yarsans, and Yazidis, but the dominant religion is Islam, with about 99% of all Iraqis. Now, Iraq's climate is mostly arid, all-out desert and dust storms, and a touch of subtropic in there. You'll still find snow-capped mountains like the Zagros mountain range, which passes partially through the country, as well as the coral reef and the Shatt al-Arab. Now, the capital and largest city is Baghdad. Nicknamed the City of Peace, Madinatus Salam, was founded in the 8th century under the Abbasid Caliphate and quickly turned into the most significant cultural, commercial, and intellectual center of the Arab and Islamic civilization for the next centuries to come, especially during the Islamic Golden Age, during which the House of Wisdom was built, right in the city, otherwise known as Bayt al-Hikmah, the amazing library and academy of Baghdad, where knowledge from all around the world was gathered and translated into Arabic. The city became the largest in the world in 775, reaching over 1 million people. It's where the legendary character of Sinbad is from, or Sindibad in Arabic. It's also where you'll find the Madrasa al-Mustansiriyya, one of the oldest universities in the world, which was built in the 13th century, but part of it survived and got restored, so it looks like this today. Al-Khadimiyya Mosque is also located there, where you'll find the tombs of Shia Imam Musa al-Kazim and Imam Muhammad al-Jawad alayhim salam. You'll also find the Qaws al-Nasr, as well as the Iraq Museum or Mat'haf al-Iraqi, which contains ancient relics all the way back to Mesopotamia, which leads us right into some history. The name Iraq or Iraq has been used for more than 1500 years, but its origin is said to come from the ancient Sumerian city of Uruk. But let's go a little further back to prehistory, where archaeological remains have revealed a Neanderthal culture in the Shanidar cave, located in the mountain of Bradost, and it changed what we previously thought we knew about Neanderthal. A few thousand years forward and we have Sumer, the legendary ancient civilization, the earliest known full advanced civilization in history. It was located in the region of Mesopotamia, or what is now the south of Iraq. It's also credited with developing the first known writing system, which looks like this. A cuneiform script with its wedge-shaped marks written on clay tablets, used to communicate with the Sumerian language. Interestingly enough, it's got no clear roots in either Semitic or Indo-European or any known language in history, like the Basque language in Spain. Full of mystery. Although there seems to be a lot of borrowed words from Akkadian. Here's a sentence. Enlil lugal kurkurra abadinir dinir rennike, which means Enlil the king, king of all the lands, father of all the gods. Sounds really awesome and unique, but you can see a word like Abba sounds a lot like Abu in Akkadian, and Ab or Abu, which is father in Arabic. Now, the earliest texts come from the city of Uruk about 4000 BC, not Uruk as in Uruk-hai from Lord of the Rings.
What is it? What do you smell? Mind flesh.
Okay, Lord of the Rings moment over, back to Iraq. So, Uruk is an important city because it contributed to the urbanization of Sumer, expanding from a village to a full-scale city with government and military. It's where King Gilgamesh from the Epic of Gilgamesh was from, the Mesopotamian king who goes on a quest seeking eternal life and finds a man who tells him about a great flood and of a huge ship that the god Ea told him to build in order to survive. Which sounds a lot like Noah's Ark story, but earlier. Moving forward to the 2nd millennium BC, and we have the Akkadian Empire, which grew to encompass Anatolia and most of Turkey, the Levant, as well as the Arabian Peninsula. First established following the conquest of Sargon of Akkad, and the people spoke the Akkadian language there. The earliest known Semitic language, 345 for example, is Salasat Arbat Khamsat, much like the Arabic ثلاثة أربعة خمسة. It was followed by the Assyrian Empire and then later the Babylonian Empire, which reached its peak thanks to Hammurabi, who was famous for the Hammurabi Code of Law, a really well-preserved set of 282 laws dealing with economic provisions like prices, tariffs, trade, family law like marriage and divorce, and criminal law, as well as civil law. On the one hand, some laws were progressive, especially for their time, like minimum wage, for example, for doctors, laborers, and ox drivers. And on the other hand, certain laws were pretty brutal. They had some pretty intense punishment if you broke them. An eye for an eye kind of stuff. Like literally one says, if you break someone's bone, then your bone has to be broken. Another is if a mother and son commit incest, then they have to be burned alive. Damn. Hey, at least incest was definitely not encouraged. Which means Game of Thrones would probably be different under Hammurabi. You know what I'm talking about. Here's another law that is both really progressive and brutal at the same time. It basically says if you accuse someone of a crime and can't prove it before the elders or judges, and it's a capital offense, then you're put to death. So, innocent until proven guilty, but you better make sure you can back it up. Next comes the Neo-Assyrian Empire around 900 BC, which made Aramaic its official language. The Assyrians, by the way, who at the time had the most effective fighting force in the world. They were the first to be armed with iron weapons and used advanced military tactics, which made them formidable in battle. But the empire fell to Persians under Cyrus the Great, followed by Alexander the Great, Rome, the Sassanid Empire until the Muslims took over, followed by the Mongols, the Ottoman Empire, and the British, until Iraq reached its independence in 1932. Alright, now we go to a few major cities besides Baghdad. The first is Mosul. Yes, let me show you another side of the city you may not have known. Mosul is the second largest city in Iraq and the main commercial center of the northwest of the country. It's where you'll find the reconstructed Meshki Gate that leads into the Assyrian city of Nineveh, the ancient city of Ninua in Akkadian, as well as the Grand Mosque of Mosul, currently under reconstruction. Basra, the main port of Iraq on the Shatt al-Arab, like I mentioned before, considered Iraq's economic capital. You'll find the Mohammed Baqir al-Sadr bridge there, which was completed just in 2017. Fun fact, Basra is one of the ports from which Sinbad sails on his adventures. Imagine they had a high-budget Sinbad movie or series. I mean like actually Arab actors and locations. Ideally in Arabic too. I would so love to play in that. Yeah. Erbil, designated as Arab Tourism Capital in 2014 by the Arab Council of Tourism, with the citadel of Erbil included as a World Heritage Site. You'll also find the Chaldean Cathedral of St. Joseph, Najaf or Najaf al-Ashraf, a very important city for Shia Muslims, where you'll find Darih al-Imam Ali, the tomb of Imam Ali alayhi salam, one of the central figures of Shia Islam. Alright, next we're going to look at a few important sites worth checking out. First, we have the Ziggurat of Ur, an ancient temple and administrative center similar to a pyramid but with stairs, built around 2100 BC in honor of the mythological god Sin. Now it fell to ruin but was reconstructed around the 5th or 6th century BC. We also have Hatra or Hadr, the ancient city whose remains are still standing today, and a small reconstruction of the Ishtar Gate at the ruins of Al-Hilla, which was originally built by Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar II. The Great Mosque of Samarra or Jami' Samarra al-Kabir, dating back to the 9th century, noted for its spiral minaret, which is the only thing surviving along with the outer wall of the mosque. The archaeological city is listed as a World Heritage Site, along with the Iraqi marshes, which were added to the list in 2016. Now we jump to food. Yes, several Iraqi dishes are also common in other parts of the Middle East, but you'll find a national dish of maskouf, consisting of grilled carp in a delicious spicy tomato sauce and cooked suspended over hot coals. Aywa. Kuzi, which is prepared with rice and a whole roasted lamb, occasionally stuffed with nuts, raisins, and various amazing spices. Dipsi batinjan, a type of casserole dish made with fried eggplants wrapped around small spiced meatballs, all baked in a delicious tomato-based sauce. Bami, baked okra and tender lamb or beef in a spiced tomato-based stew. bajella bidhin, considered a breakfast meal with layers of broth-soaked bread topped with oil-fried eggs, onions, and boiled beans. Now that's a nice, big breakfast. Okay, now for notable people. Kazım Ser, the Caesar of Arabic music, one of the most respected composers, singers, and songwriters in the Arab world, who gained popularity with his hit song Abartu Shot in 1988. Muhammad al-Qubanji was one of the most famous singers of the maqam style, a 400-year-old style of improvised melodic Arabic music that incorporates traditional instruments, and a qari, who would read classical Arabic poetry. Afifa Iskandar, also a master of Iraqi maqam, considered one of the best female singers in Iraqi history, nicknamed the Blackbird of Iraq. Going further back in history to the 10th century, I have to mention Al-Mutanabbi, one of the greatest, most influential poets in the Arabic language. Alright, some fun facts now. According to a study led by Professor Mark Jobling about 10 years ago, most Britons are direct descendants of farmers who left Iraq and Syria about 10,000 years ago. In fact, researchers said they have evidence that 4 out of 5 white Europeans can trace their roots to the Near East. We're all connected. The city of Ur Qasdim, mentioned in the Hebrew Bible, is the birthplace of Abraham, which is agreed upon by scholars as the city of Ur itself in ancient Iraq. Temperatures in Iraq can exceed 50 degrees Celsius or 122 degrees Fahrenheit. Good God. There you go, my friends. Awesome facts about Iraq. Let me know what you thought was most interesting. Like and share this video so everyone around the world can see all the amazing things about this country. And don't forget to subscribe for more education, culture, and entertainment. Check out my Patreon in the link below if you want to support me directly and have access to more content. And if you have ideas or questions, leave it in the comments below or in my Instagram. We do our best to read as many as possible, but bear with us because we get tons and tons of messages from everywhere. Alright, next up, Masr, Egypt. Thanks for watching, guys, and take care.